They have not given an interview since that heart-stopping rescue in July, but they are all together here for the first time on TV. Please welcome the coach and the 12 players from the Wild Boars soccer team. Thank you for helping with this. Y'all are amazing, and we are so happy to have you here. We're going to take a break, and we come back. We're going to hear all about it for the first time from you. Thank you so much. It's been several months. How are you all feeling?
รู้สึกยังไงกันบ้างแล้วตอนนี้
Good, like completely fine, completely healthy?
Yes, healthy and fine. Very
Good.
good.
All right, so let's start at the beginning. Why did you go into the cave that day, and how long did you plan on staying in there?
เหตุผลที่เข้าไปในถ้ำวันนั้นคืออะไร
เหตุผลที่เข้าไปในถ้ำคือเนื่องจากว่าน้องๆบางคนเนี่ยคือไม่เคยเข้าไปแล้วส่วนใหญ่เนี่ยไม่เคยเข้าไปกันแล้ววันนั้นก็เลยไปเล่นบอลนะครับไปเล่นบอลแล้วก็คือที่ถ้ำหลวงเนี่ยเป็นสถานที่ท่องเที่ยวอยู่แล้วนะครับแล้ววันนั้นไปเล่นบอลเสร็จหลังจากขากลับก็เลยแวะเข้าไปเพื่อที่จะไปแค่ชั่วโมงเดียวเพื่อว่าต้องออกมาแล้วไปส่งน้องไททันไปเรียนพิเศษและต้องไปส่งน้องไนท์งานวันเกิดด้วย
Okay, so the cave is usually a tourist attraction anyways. So some of the boys have never been in, and they decided to go in just to see what it's like. They decided to go in for just an hour, but it took them longer than that.
So, yes. Yes, it did. So, but at what point had you been in for 1 hour when the water came in, or were they in longer than an hour?
ก็เข้าไปก็ถึง1 ชั่วโมงเราก็ออกมากันครับเพราะเกินเวลาเพราะตั้นต้องเรียนพิเศษแล้วก็พี่ไนท์ต้องไปงานวันเกิดครับก็ออกมาถึง3 แยกก็น้ำก็เต็มหมดแล้วครับก็ออกไม่ได้ครับ
So they went in for about an hour, so they came back out, and at the intersection inside the cave, they just saw that the water had risen too high, so they just know then that they wouldn't be able to get out.
Okay, so, and that's when you realized you were in trouble. And did you think, you just thought the water would just subside? Or at what point did you start to panic? At what point did you think we may not get out of here?
ไม่คิดครับเพราะว่าเนื่องจากว่าทุกคนมีความหวังอยู่แล้วคิดว่ายังไงผู้ใหญ่ทุกคนเขาก็ไม่ทอดทิ้งยังไงก็เข้ามาช่วยแน่นอน
They weren't scared, and they always had hope, and they know that if they don't come out, eventually someone will have to come in and get them out anyway.
Yes, okay, so that's amazing that you didn't lose hope and lose faith. How did you remain calm?
พี่เอกก็บอกว่าให้น้องๆทุกคนมานั่งสวดมนต์ก่อนนอนเพื่อจิตใจจะได้สงบและจะได้คิดหาทางออกได้ครับแล้วก็จะได้มีสติครับ
ที่ให้น้องๆทำสมาธิเนื่องจากว่าให้น้องๆสติไม่ฟุ้งซ่านและอีกอย่างเพื่อเซฟพลังงานของน้องๆไว้ด้วยครับ
So T right here said that the coach told them to pray and meditate so that they can stay calm, and then they will be conscious, and that when they're calm they can figure out what they want to do next, while the coach added that when they meditate they conserve energy so that they're not using too much energy while in the cave.
Meditation is key. Meditation is so important, and to come in to play at a time like that, it proves that, I mean, to keep you calm, that's amazing. Okay, so it took, well, first of all, did you have food with you? Or what did you eat? What did you drink?
ไม่มีนอกจากน้ำครับเพราะว่าเอาของทุกอย่างไว้ตรงหน้าถ้ำครับแล้วก็เข้าไปโดยเอาไปแค่ไฟฉายแค่นั้นแหละครับ
So they didn't have any food because they left all their belongings outside the cave. They only brought in torches and their mobile phones. And then when they realized they were stuck in the cave, they tried to look for drinking water. So they only drink water that were clean, that were flowing down from the cave walls, because the water that were flowing inside the cave were dirty and muddy. So they wouldn't be able to drink it.
So that was the only water you had from the drops?
From the stalactites.
Wow, and no food. Were you able to, like, you could sleep? Did you sleep, or was it hard to even fall asleep?
หลับลงไหมหรือว่าหลับยากไหมตอนอยู่ในถ้ำ
หลับตื่นๆครับหลับตื่น
So
เพราะเนื่องจากอากาศมันเย็นอากาศมัน
ชื้นตลอดเวลา
it was quite humid and cold, but they fall asleep on and off. So it's like an hour's sleep and then they wake up.
Yeah.
So it's not like a whole night of sleep.
And then 3 of you had birthdays while you were in there, right?
4.
4 people had birthdays.
ใครบ้างวันเกิดบ้างคะ so 4 of them had birthdays
Happy birthday! So, but, and how did you realize because it was dark the whole time, how did you know days were changing?
รู้ได้จากนาฬิกาของพี่ตีครับ เพราะพี่ตีเอานาฬิกาไปคนเดียวครับ ในนาฬิกานั้นบอกวันเวลาและวันที่ครับ
Okay, so D right here had a watch, and it tells the time and the date, so they knew what date was and what time it was.
Oh, so you know every day that passes. Wow. And how did you celebrate your birthdays? What did you celebrate in there? And did you try?
ไม่มี
so they didn't celebrate.
No one sang happy birthday?
ไม่มีใครร้องเพลงวันเกิดเนอะ
Each one of you got out one at a time, and each rescue took 5 hours. Is that correct?
แต่ละคน
ตอนเอาออกมาจากถ้
คือมันเขาจะเว้นระยะไม่ถึง 5 ชั่วโมงครับ ก็คือจะเว้นประมาณคนละประมาณครึ่งชั่วโมงครับในการออกมา
around 8 hours actually for
8
each.
hours for each to get out.
Right.
Okay. And I understand that they had to, because you didn't know how to swim, so they were trying to figure out forever how to get you out of there, number one. But then they had to sedate you so that you wouldn't panic. And do you remember any of it since you were sedated?
จำไม่ได้ครับ
Nobody remembers what
จำไม่ได้
happened.
เพราะมันมืดมากครับมันมืด
It was too dark and they didn't remember anything.
You don't remember anything, but obviously you remember. And when you got out, did you realize the world was watching you, that everybody was getting up every morning to see if you were out?
คือตอนอยู่ในถ้ำไม่รู้ครับ มารู้ตอนที่อยู่โรงพยาบาล
They didn't know when inside the cave they didn't know anything, but they knew that a lot of people were watching and supporting them when they got to the hospital already.
Yeah. I mean, the world, not a lot of people, the whole
No, the
world.
whole world.
It was a lot of people. So you're soccer players, and I wanted to give you a gift of, this is a soccer jersey that I think that you're going to
ให้คนละตัว
enjoy. Each one of you. So I understand you all have the same goal. What do you want to do with your lives?
อนาคตอยากทำอะไร
ผมกับพี่ๆทุกคนก็อยากเรียนให้จบสูงๆ มีงานทำแล้วก็อยากเป็นนักฟุตบอลอาชีพเพื่อนำรายได้ไปเลี้ยงพ่อแม่ครับ
Okay, so all of them want to receive a good education so that they would have good jobs and at the same time be a professional soccer player so that they can take care of their families.
That's a good goal. So, and you have someone that you really admire. Who's the soccer player that you admire? Zlatan, right?
ชอบสลาตันใช่ไหม
ชอบซาลาตันฮิบาฮิโมวิช
Yeah. It'd be cool to meet him.
จะดีใช่ไหมถ้าได้พบเขา
Come on out, Zlatan. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Hi.
Have a seat here.
Let me sit there.
Okay. It's a miracle, isn't it? They're
is.
incredible.
It is. I thought I was brave, but these kids, this team is more braver than me, and they showed the collective teamwork, and they had patience, faith, and belief in other hands also. So this is probably the best team in the world. So.
Okay, so เขาบอกว่าทุกคนเก่งมาก
And you have something for them.
Yes.
So explain what you're going to do.
So we have gifts, presents for you, all of you, and hopefully you get happy.
เขามี
So
ของขวัญ
we
มา
can make
ให้
an exchange. You get my shirt, I get your shirt.
game. You're gonna get to go see the game. We'll take a break. We'll be back. This next story is proof that there is still good news in the world. After becoming trapped in a burning car, a woman's life was saved when a police officer used his baton to break through her window and pull her to safety. And because of those selfless actions, they're both here today from Spokane, Washington. Please welcome Kim Novak, the officer who saved her, Tim Schwering. How long ago did it happen?
A week ago, last Friday.
A week ago. And look at both of you and completely fine. Okay, so explain to everybody how you got trapped in the car.
Well, it was just a Friday night, and I got a hankering for some ice cream, so I ran down to
What
the local...
kind of ice cream?
It was Skinny Cow, the little bars.
What was the flavor?
Mint, chocolate mint.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got my ice cream, and I was headed home, and got about 4 houses away from my house, and I hit a little bump of some compact snow and ice, and at that time, the car just lost all power. All lights went off, the motor shut off, everything was off. So thinking, oh crap, I'll just walk home. And I go to open the doors and I can't get out. So I thought, well, what am I supposed to do? You know, I tried every one of the locks, tried to manually unlock them, and they wouldn't unlock. And I started calling 911 and got a hold of the dispatcher there, and he told him where my location was. And by that time, the flames are shooting about a foot high coming out of my engine compartment.
So were you trying to, was there, you have a neat car, you said, so there was nothing to crash the windows?
No, the dispatcher, he told me, you're gonna need to bust the window out. Do you have anything to bust the window out? I said, no, I keep a tidy car. There's nothing around. So
Yeah.
he said, you're gonna have to try to kick it out. So I laid back on the seat, and with both feet, I tried kicking the window out and couldn't on the front window. And by this time, the flames are getting bigger and bigger. So I moved to the back
panicked.
seat. Oh, yeah.
So you're in the back seat, and then, Tim, you were the first person on the scene.
I was.
So you see the car on fire. Do you know she's still inside?
No, when I first got there, the car was, the whole front end was engulfed in flames. I pulled up. I was hoping that she was out of the car by the time I got there. Ran up to the car, and she, by that point, was in the back seat. I couldn't really even see her because of the smoke, but she was screaming, so I knew she was back there. At that point, I just took out my baton, and I was actually concerned on that first hit that the glass would shatter and hurt her, and
Right.
then obviously it didn't shatter, which was disappointing. And then just kept hitting the window until we could start pulling it out.
Had you ever tried to break a window before? Was this your first time trying to break a window?
This was my first time.
Because I was going to say, we don't know how hard it's going to be. No. You don't know if it's going to be easy or hard. Mm-hmm. So you were, you must have at some point thought, I'm not getting out of here.
Oh, absolutely. I was terrified. I mean, it's a nightmare come true to be trapped in a burning vehicle. And I was making peace with my own death. I knew I was going to die. Either the flames were going to get me, or the smoke would get me, and then you see on TV where the fuel line catches fire and it explodes. Right. So I figured one of those things was going to get me, and I was going to be a goner. So I was thinking, how am I going to call my daughter? You know, I'm just absolutely terrified. And she's on the East Coast in the Navy, and I'm thinking, what's that conversation like? What am I going to say to her? How do you say goodbye to your kid? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I can't even imagine what that feeling would be like that it just. So, and you are, fighting, and you don't give up.
At that moment in time, it's basically it's just you and that other person. There were the only two people in the world, and at that point, it was, I'm not leaving without her.
That's beautiful. Well, I'm assuming the ice cream melted, so.
Well, it's funny you say that, because after I was pulled to safety, and I was like, we were kind of joking, and he said, you're going to need to go home tonight and have a big glass of wine. And I said, yeah, because I'm clearly not having that ice cream.
No.
So, but this guy is so genuine and so compassionate that he showed up at my house the next morning with a half-gallon of ice cream and a bottle of wine.
So sweet. I love that. All right. All right, well, you didn't have anything to break your window. This is never going to happen again, but just in case it does, I got you something so that you can keep it in your car. All right, now, the thing about that, you're looking at that going, yes, in case of emergency, break the glass, but how do I break the glass? So I got you this so that you can, and then you're like, well, how do I get into that? And so you keep this in your purse, so you can break that to get out.
I like it.
All right? And so I know you're a police officer, you can't accept gifts, but your girlfriend is in the audience and she can, and you can, so she can take you. We're not... Oh, the wife, so the girlfriend didn't come?
It's going so well, too.
It really was. All right, so your wife can accept this and she can bring you. Portia and I love this place. It's a fantastic spa and it's called Miraval, and we're sending each of you on a relaxing 3-day, 2-night stay at Miraval Resort, and you will love it. And that is for you and your daughter, you and your wife. We'll be right back. Oh, Bryant and Crystal, hello. Okay, so first of all, it just breaks my heart that there are people in the world that would do something like that, and I don't understand it, and we need strict laws for things like that, and catch that right away. In the morning, you're headed to the lake, you're gonna go fishing or something, right?
Yep.
And then what happens?
Well, I was on my way walking out there to go fishing, and I didn't get to my first spot, and I was looking in the water, and I saw something just kind of weird, and I didn't know what it was. And when I got closer, that's when I realized that it was a dog in a crate locked in there, and the water was just barely below where her ears were. And I was just shocked, and my heart just started pounding when I saw it.
So it was close enough that you could get to it, but still you had to get into the water to, what happens next?
Yeah, so I immediately looked around because I was thinking, is there anybody that can help me? I don't know what to do right now, and I had no idea how long she had been in the water, so I just wanted to get her out as quick as possible. So I started taking off my sweatshirts, and I just walked in there, and I pulled her up close to the shore, and that's where I took the picture that everyone saw. Because it was very obvious to me that she had been through a really traumatic life even before that moment.
Right, because you could tell she had also been hurt in different ways before she was even put in that water.
Yeah.
Okay, so you put her in the car and the water was freezing, and then you're driving to the animal hospital and you call Crystal, and I mean, what's that call like to hear what he's telling you?
I immediately stopped what I was doing. Obviously, I could tell from his voice that it wasn't something that was accidental. And so I stopped what I was doing and I rushed there immediately, and all I could think was, is Brian okay? Is this puppy gonna make it? And how do we get her home?
And, yeah, and you didn't think for a minute she was gonna make it, because she was close to not making it.
I really did not think that she was. And when we first called and I heard that she was stable and that she was finally getting her body temperature up, because initially her body temperature was so low that it didn't even register.
Right.
And when I had her, her eyes were closed, and she really was just almost shut down completely. So I was just kind of preparing myself for that, because I didn't think she was gonna make it.
Right, so you didn't think she was gonna make it, but if she did make it, you knew that you wanted that dog. How did you know immediately that you wanted that dog?
When I first saw her, I just thought there was this connection, and it's hard to put words behind it with an animal sometimes, but I just felt something really special about her. And when I brought her to the University of Illinois Veterinarian Medicine, and I handed her over to the veterinarian, and I filled out the paperwork right there, and I said, I really want this dog.
Right.
So
you're gonna get that dog, aren't you?
We're gonna get that dog.
Yeah. And what did you name this doggy?
We named her Dory. So we came home, when we got back from the animal hospital, we're like, okay, if she makes it, we're doing this, she's ours. And when I was just tossing around names, it was the only name I could kind of think of, because she just kept swimming.
Yep. Yep, she made it.
Yeah.
She made it.
She did.
And so, obviously, they're still working on the injuries that she's gone through, and so you're going to hopefully get her at the end of this week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully at the end of this week we'll be able to take her home.
Well, I have a pet line, and so I want to give you everything that you're going to need for Dory. So I'm going to give you all of my pet line. So when We're back with Crystal and Bryant, who are amazing saviors of little Dory, which is, you have to keep in touch and send us pictures and stuff, and we have to watch her play with all her toys. So how long have y'all known each other?
So we've been officially together for about 11 years.
Coming up on 11 years.
Wow, and how did you meet?
We met at a coffee shop at an open mic night in college. He was singing, and he was shy. He thought I was pretty. And then he didn't talk to me.
That's so sweet. And 11 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time. And will you get married?
You and everyone else asks.
So Crystal really hates surprises, and I love surprising her. Crystal? So we had a dog named Ozzy that passed away a couple of years ago, and I had always planned on doing this with him, and I never got the chance, and it just feels right now. So, Crystal, you are the most beautiful person I have ever met, and I would like to ask you to be will you be the mother to our Dory? Will you be my wife, and will you marry me?
Have a seat. That was great. I've been watching him going, wow, he's really calm for what's about to happen, because I thought, you really handled that well. I was like, he's not even nervous. I was looking. Anyway, so I want to be the first to give you an engagement gift. This season, I'm partnering with Furbo to help dogs find a loving home, and they want to say thank you and congratulations with a check for $25,000. Be kind to one another. Bye-bye. Last week, while driving with her one-year-old son, our first guest experienced the most frightening event of her life. Thankfully, a hero appeared on the busy highway to save the day from Springfield, Minnesota. Please welcome Sarah Sorby. So you're driving Ben, your one-year-old son, to a doctor's appointment.
Yes.
So was he sick?
He had some medical issues we're trying to figure out. So he has doctor appointments just about every other week.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's stressful enough. So you're driving him, and what happens?
I was driving and my accelerator pedal on my car kind of started skipping. So I called my dad and I said, what should I do? My car's not working. And he said, you need to pull over. So I was in the left lane. I needed to get all the way to the right lane. And my accelerator pedal just stopped working. And I'm watching the speedometer just drop on my car. So I basically kind of just coasted over to the right lane. And I went to brake and my brake wouldn't work. So I just kind of shifted it into park. And then the car started filling with smoke.
So you get out of the car, you grab Ben, obviously. It's freezing, probably, Minnesota.
It was cold, but I think my adrenaline was so crazy that I remember being warm.
Well, there was a fire next to you, so that it could have kept warm that way.
Yeah.
All right, so you're standing on the side of the road with your child and your car's on fire, and no one's stopping. How many cars passed by, do you think?
I have no idea. The time was at a standstill. I was in shock. I just stood there. I just held him in my arms. I have no idea how many cars passed by.
Wow, but obviously enough that the cars are, and so finally, this wonderful guy, his name is Joseph?
Joseph.
Joseph stops, and do you remember that moment when he came up to you?
I was watching the cars go by, and I hear, ma'am, are you okay? And I turned to look at him, and he looked panicked, and I was still kind of calm. I didn't know what to do. And so he said, you need to get away from your car immediately. Your car's on fire. And then I realized, okay, this is more than just a smoking vehicle.
Yeah.
So I started to walk over to him, and I burst into tears. I was hysterical. And he said, do you have any belongings, that you need to get? And I said, well, my purse and my son's medical records are by my car. He said, we need to get them. And as I turned to go get them, he kind of held his hand out firmly, and he said, no, you have to stay here.
And then he went for them.
He put on a respirator mask and went to go get him.
His name is Joseph Stampley. You have not seen him since this happened. Joseph? what anybody should have done, but they didn't, and you did. So good for you, and thank goodness you were driving by at that moment. I can't believe no one else stopped, but it really is a good thing that you happened to be driving by at that moment. So you're driving by and you saw the car. Was it on fire when you saw it or just smoking?
No, it was just smoking. I had a lot of black smoke coming out of it.
Uh-huh. So then you just pull over, which is the right thing to do, and go up to her. And how quickly did it catch on fire?
Within seconds. She's in the middle of telling me that she needs to get to her destination.
Right.
And I keep telling her, you need to get away from this car. You know, it can't explode. It's not just in movies.
Yeah, right. There's gas in there, all kinds of things. So you knew it could explode, and yet her purse is in there and her son's medical records, and you put your respirator on and went in after that.
Yep.
Really brave of you. Really amazing. I mean...
Thank you.
Yeah. And this, I don't even think you know this. So after you left them at I think the gas station, right?
Yes, yes.
So you were waiting for your dad to come pick you up. Tell her what you did.
Well, I didn't want to just, stand there looking creepy. After you told me no, I got in my truck and I just drove around to the other side of the gas station and waited to make sure your dad did come.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, the fact that he didn't leave, he just waited to make sure you were out, because you were in shock. You must have been freaking out, and you're holding your son. And so there is insurance money, but you owed money on the car as well, right? So.
Yeah, we were going to pay it off this week.
Uh-huh. Okay, well.
Not anymore.
Yeah, no. All right, well, we have been partners with Shutterfly for 3 years, and they have helped us with hundreds of people's lives they want to make better. And they want to give you a check for $10,000 to help you. Oh, my God. That'll help. And Joseph, I know you work long hours and you're struggling paycheck to paycheck, so Shutterfly wants to give you $15,000.
Oh my God!
That's what you get for being a good guy.
Thank you.
Last week, the city of Los Angeles watched as the dramatic air rescue of a dog stuck in the LA River played out on live television. Please welcome the 4 heroes from the LA Fire Department, Joe, Scott, Robert, and Dan. I am so glad I have a TV show so I can see something like that and go, I want to meet these guys and thank you because...
And here we are.
Here you are. Can you imagine if I didn't have a show and just called you up and said, come to my house? I wanted to meet you. But really unbelievable to watch that. And I know it was so dangerous because there were electrical wires everywhere. But for people who don't know the story and didn't see it on television, explain that the dog was down there and the ground crew was trying to get it for an hour before y'all showed up, right?
Well, we were deployed downtown because of the weather. And when we got there, we didn't really think anything was going to go on. And a lot of water in the channel. And when, we got the call that there was a dog actually down in the channel. And about 45 seconds after starting the aircraft, we were over the top of the dog. And the Swiftwater crew was down in the water looking for the dog. They found it. And we were overhead, and we couldn't get to it right away because of the wires.
So how did someone just spot it and make a call and said they saw a dog down there?
Apparently somebody saw it and called 911.
And so there's 60 guys down there, a ground crew trying to get it, can't get the dog.
Right.
Then finally you're waiting,
Right.
and until it clears, the wires are in the way. That's dangerous.
Right.
And so now, Joe, how were you the lucky guy that went down there? Did you draw straws? Or, rock, paper, scissors?
I lost the short straw.
Yeah.
I lost the bet. Yeah, you picked paper.
Now, because really it could have been any of you. You're the crew, so it could. What made you do it?
It was my day.
They wouldn't let me go.
I want to hold your hand up right now because you can see the thumb. He fractured your thumb. That's what's amazing about what you did because, of course, the dog is scared and you didn't care. You just held on and saved that dog's life even though he was biting you the entire time. That's amazing that you did that.
Well, I can't run away, so.
Well, yeah, you could have said, pull me up and never mind.
Yeah.
So you're going down, and what are you thinking when this is happening?
But I was really hoping it was a schnauzer. But
Yeah.
no, the biggest thing is just trying to get control of him. it's not too terribly surprising. He's cold, he's wet, he's not as tired as I was really hoping he was. And now we have this very loud, 100-mile-an-hour wind blowing over the top of him, and then some guy jumps on his back.
Right.
Why'd I get bit?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Right.
It's just not very surprising that he starts to either get taken by the water or trying to get away from me.
Right.
And so I don't have the time to, make acquaintances and take a little time, so that he's a little calmer.
Right. So
Unfortunately.
Did you strap him into something? What were you holding
Yeah.
on to when you both went up?
I had a capture strap, so what you see, I come in with my hands wide so I can get the capture strap around him, and as soon as I made the connection, that's when he turned and started snapping.
And what was in the air? He must have been flipping out in the air. Then there's that level of fear for him.
Yeah.
So
I'm just holding him tight at that point, and I've got his collar, so I have a level of control, and he can't bite me again.
Right.
And just trying to make sure that he stays, under control and safe.
So he doesn't.
We told Joe, don't worry, the dog's going to be really tired.
Right. Well, I'm sure you thought the dog would be tired, but
well,
he
we did.
And
He wasn't.
But no. I mean, in that helicopter, the noise and the wind. So then you land on a bridge, and at that point, did you feel him calm? Did he know that he was safe, or was he still freaked out?
No, he was pretty docile at that point. Getting 75 feet up in the air when you've never done that before takes a lot out of a dog.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he wasn't too happy about being in the air like that.
Yeah. And have you seen the dog, or do you know anything about it right now?
The dog's under quarantine. He will be for a total of 10 days. So I think Monday he'll actually be out of quarantine. And but he's apparently just getting all kinds of better care than I'm getting.
Yeah.
No. I'm single, so there's nobody taking care of me. And poor me.
Wait a minute, Ella.
Sorry.
Ella's here. You just, the Bachelor,
Sorry.
she got kicked off The Bachelor. What about Ella? What's a love match? It's meant to be.
Didn't mean to go there.
Well,
No.
but you were saying the dog, there's a lot of people, because no one's claimed the dog, even though it was
Right.
wearing a collar, so it may have just been a stray that has been wandering around for a while. It needs a home. I know a lot of people are inquiring, but somebody needs to give that dog a good home.
Oh, I'm sure he'll get one.
Why don't you get the dog? Why don't you take it?
We keep hearing that question.
We're trying to adopt Joe out.
Oh, really? Well, maybe we'll get inquiries.
Yeah, we're working through.
Right. Well,
I understand that the animal shelter has had over 1,000 calls.
Well, that's fantastic.
So he will go to a good home even if I don't take him.
Well, I predict after you mentioning you're single, we'll get over 1,000 calls for you. We have to take a break. We'll be right back with these guys. And I just found out that even some people in the control room have offers out for you already. So,
good.
Yeah, there's some
free
people.
to a good home.
Okay, good. Look, I'll take you back there. You should charge. You shouldn't be free. So I understand this rescue was possible because it was during the day, but at night you never could have done this, and you're trying to start a fund to buy night vision goggles, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So, well, we want to help you do that. Our friends at Bausch & Lomb actually are going to contribute to that fund, and they are giving you $10,000. Wow. So, that will help.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Well, sometimes the universe puts a person in your life when you need them the most. Our next guest walked 30 feet across a ski lift cable to cut a skier free who was hanging from his backpack. From Colorado, Golden, Colorado, please welcome Mickey Wilson and the man who he saved, Richard. What a crazy story. So you happened to meet that day, or when did you meet exactly?
So I'm a professional slackliner. That's my main job, but I teach ski school on like the weekends and stuff for a part-time job. And we had never met before, but we had these mutual friends. So we went to go ski together that morning, and that was our first meeting.
Coincidence number one, but he also bought me a burrito that morning too.
Oh.
You got to be fueled for ski day.
So, all right, and then there's four of you, right?
Exactly.
So you get on, and because you're a nice guy, you said, I'm going to ride alone on the ski lift. Is that right?
Yeah, I wanted these guys to be able to catch up since they knew each other from before, but I didn't really know them. I didn't know Mickey, at least. So, we'd been skiing all day. It's not a big deal. Usually when you're riding the chair lifts, it's just, part of the activity. We're there for the powder. The chairlift is just one part of it.
So you're on, and what do you remember about it?
Well, not very much. You know, there's little figments that I think are memories where basically I could see the snow in front of me and I could see, you know, going backwards, which is always unusual. If you're on a chairlift, you should be going forward and off. But, you know, all of a sudden I just remember my vision was constricting and that was it. That's all I remembered of it.
Passed out.
And then I passed out.
You were out for like at least 4 minutes. So he's hanging by his neck, right? When did you notice that he was hanging?
So yeah, he went ahead of us. Hans, Billy, and I were behind, and we get off the chairlift expecting to see our friend, and he's not there. And that's the first uncommon thing. And then we heard a scream or a yell behind us, drawing our attention back to the ski lift behind us. And then we heard one more scream, and the ski lift stopped. And that's when we knew things were off. So we take off our skis, and we run down the hill, and we see him hanging pretty much like that. And we realize that things are not well, and we get pretty scared. And then we start hearing other people yell, and his best friend Hans starts yelling, "He's choking, he's choking, oh my God, he's choking." And that's when we start acting.
Okay, because there was no way anyone's going to get to him in time, and he's not moving.
His feet were about 10 feet off the ground.
So when you say slackliner, you were a professional slackliner, I don't think people understand what that is. You're basically, you walk on cable. Like,
well, not quite exactly. Slacklining, there you go, that's a slackline. Slacklining is the evolution of tightrope walking, you could say, only we've lost the big static steel cable and the 40-foot long pole, like Philippe Petit or whatever, and we just use our arms to balance. Oh, that's a blindfolded one, nice.
I can't believe you do that.
You know, it's really intrinsic to humans to balance and, you know, and
that's
do things
intrinsic.
like that.
That's intrinsic to us? No.
Absolutely.
It's not intrinsic to any of us here. It's you only.
No.
But that's amazing. Okay, so the fact that this guy happens to be,
Right.
you know, says hello to you earlier in the day with your friends, and so you get up and did you do that on the cable or did you?
Not exactly.
Oh.
So I just get on the cable and I slide across it really fast as I can. And I get over
with your hands?
Yeah, kind of like this. You know, butt scooting basically.
Oh, butt scooting.
Butt scooting.
Okay, so you're okay. There
And
you
then
are.
and I swing down onto the chairlift. But as I'm swinging down, I realize I don't have my knife. And I usually carry a knife in most outdoor situations. It's a good thing to have. And right at that moment, the Arapahoe Basin Ski Patrol had arrived, and the ski patrolman down at the bottom made the world's most perfect toss, 20 feet up, and I catch it. I have a hurt hand, and I catch it with my hurt hand, which is a miracle too. Pull the blade out, cut him loose, and 8 ski patrolmen or something jump on him and do CPR.
So because he had been out for.
Yeah. Man. Oh, God.
I know you didn't want to do this, Richard. I appreciate you being here, but you didn't want to talk about this, and then you changed your mind. Why?
You know, I wanted to keep the focus on the real hero here and the rescue, and I didn't think I had much to contribute to that story. And I really think, you know, the story is about the miracle of Mickey having the skills and the ability to jump up there and do what he did in that instance. And, you know, he called me up and said, you know, I got this opportunity. Ellen wants to meet us. And I said, wow, I mean, it's Ellen, right? So, you know, I really like you, and I wanted to come do it.
I asked him like 4 more times for like Good Morning America, other people, and he was pretty adamant about just leaving it up to other people. But he was stoked to talk to you. He really believes in you and your cause and all the great things you do.
And, you know, I needed...
Sorry, I know you wanted to say that. I'm sorry.
But I wanted to be able to say thank you publicly and not just be part of the news cycle. So I'm just really thankful for the opportunity to do it here and be able to say thank you to Mickey in person.
Yes.
Right?
Don't forget Arapahoe Basin Ski Patrol, best ski patrol in the world.
Yeah, that's
Talk about all
yes,
they did.
the ski patrol as well. I mean, but it really is the whole story. The fact that you were a swimmer and that you would practice holding your breath underwater to go from one end to the other end of the pool, and that is what helped you. The fact that you weren't breathing for 4 minutes. Your body was okay to not breathe for that long.
Right.
Because most people, I think you would have, because like you, I mean, you were hanging by your neck, and you'd have what, just a tweaked neck? Is that it?
Well, broken rib, and yeah, a little bit sore here and there, a few bruises, but that's it.
It's a miracle. It's a miracle
It's a
that
miracle.
you know. Listen, we want to give you a gift. You love the cold and you love snow, but we want to send you someplace warm. So thanks to Mauna Kea Beach Hotel and Hawaiian Airlines, you're each getting a 7-night stay for 2 on Hawaii's Big Island. Now, you're going to enjoy breathtaking views, beautiful beaches.
Got one of those. Hawaii. Let's go. Thank you.
Now,
thank you.
You can go separately, but I'd bring him with you if I were
Right.
you. Yeah. Firefighters, police officers, and paramedics risk their lives every day to help others, but sometimes people aren't the only ones in danger. Just a few days ago, our next guest and his fellow crew members from Fire Station 114 dramatically rescued a dog named Bruno from drowning in the Los Angeles River. Please welcome a true hero, Alan Naioli. First of all, that's a nice Halloween costume you're wearing. I like that. Now, I'm very, I cried when I saw this. First of all, you don't just do this. Tell us what you do just in general.
In general, I'm assigned to Fire Station 114 as a firefighter paramedic. Our primary responsibility there is search and rescue. And what you saw on television is just one of the options of rescues we can perform, which basically means they lower me on a cable. If I can effect the rescue without still being hooked up to the helicopter, I'll try and do that. Sometimes that's not an option, where I still maintain contact with the helicopter.
Do you have a radio or something you're talking back and forth
A
to
lot
them?
of times you use hand signals because I usually need both hands free. And being able to operate a radio at the same time, sometimes it really doesn't work well with the operation.
Okay, so tell us what happens. You get a call that there's a dog in a river, or?
Well, I didn't know a dog was in the river. We got the call as a swift water rescue deployment. And that could range from anything to a search, to an actual sighting of a victim in the river, to, in this case, a dog being in the channel. I wasn't aware of that part of the information. The alarms went off, the assignments are made, and our job is to get to the helicopter, suit up, get our equipment on, check each other for safety, and off we go. In the air is when I was told that this is a dog that's in the river. I wonder how this dog got in the river.
Right. Did
But-
you see it as soon as you were over it in the helicopter? Did you see it floating?
Not directly. We never got to that point. We actually got dispatched further down the line, and we actually went down the river, turned around, and came back. And it was at that point we saw the dogs in the tunnel.
In a tunnel.
Right.
Okay, so you're lowered down, and how far in the tunnel was it? Because you could see it earlier. We didn't show the whole footage. It
Right.
was right there. Was it right there waiting for you?
At the beginning, it was.
All right, that's you trying to
Okay,
get it.
Yeah, this is toward the end of the rescue where I already have the dog
How long
secured
did it
in a
take you to
harness.
get to that point where you're getting him out of the water?
At that point,
Yeah, when you
usually
started
takes
being lifted.
about 15 to 20 seconds.
No. How long had you been trying to get the dog?
Secured?
Yeah, before you.
Well, there's a bunch of things that happened in the meantime. I had him secured at the very beginning, but he decided he didn't want to be in that little contraption that I have, which is a rescue triangle. And when I let him up a little bit, he decided he wanted out and turned right around, and everything kind of fell apart. So it was at that point where I had to try and get him back in it. At the same time, hold on to the cable that was attached to the helicopter and try and work with the dog, getting him in the rescue triangle, getting him hooked up to
And
the
he's a heavy
cable.
dog, too. He's not like a little chihuahua.
Yeah, right.
Those are easy to rescue. You can just like get a goldfish net or something like that and scoop them out.
I'm glad it wasn't a Rottweiler.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
Or a pit bull.
Yeah. Well, but because you could see he was a really sweet dog.
He was.
Was he scared to death? Was he shaking?
He was shaking, but I think he was cold and tired more than anything else. He was willing to work with me, even though I can't quite speak his language. He kind of followed me along as I pulled him around and made him sit down, and he just kind of went along with the whole thing.
When you first saw him, did you start talking to him right away to try to calm him down?
I think there's just too much noise from the helicopter. I really didn't say a whole lot to the dog, except pull on his choke chain. And I think he understood that when I kept pulling on his choke chain.
Oh, so you didn't go, come here, little wet doggy? You didn't?
Well, I tried it first. He didn't come. No.
I'm telling you, firefighters, all of you, you should have some sausages with you just all the time. You don't know. You never know when you're going to meet them. All right. When we come back, we're going to meet the family of the dog who was rescued, and a little later on, maybe meet the sweet little dog. So we'll be right back right after this. We're back at Firefighter Alan Nioli, and now let's meet the family of Bruno the dog that he rescued. Say hello to Marion, Christopher, and Samantha Marino, please. The part of the story that most people don't know, that we just found out also, is that Bruno was not the only dog that fell into the river. You had 2 dogs.
Yes, we had 2 dogs.
Bruno and Bear?
Yes.
Okay, so you all of a sudden find out they're missing how?
I had walked out to feed the dogs, and I realized that the gate was open. And I went to go look for them around the yard, and I didn't find them anywhere. And I told my husband, the dogs are missing. And he's like, what do you mean? And I said, you left the gate open, you know, slightly, not for very long. And we went out to go search for them.
And it was raining.
It was raining.
It's when a lot of dogs get lost, because the wind blows gates open, and they're confused, and they don't have the smell to find their way back. And
Right. We searched for about 2 hours for them in the rain, and finally just gave up.
So, and you thought, because one of them had a chip, and you thought they'd be found and somebody would call you, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then you get a call from the animal shelter saying, we found Bear.
Right. They had told me, we found your dog Bear. He was just rescued by a firefighter. He's doing just fine. And I said, well, did you happen to see that there was another dog with him? And the firefighter said, yes, but we weren't able to get to him. So at this point, I'm thinking the other dog drowned.
So you think that one drowned, and didn't she tell you to watch the news or something because they caught the other one, Bear, going up some steps or something?
He said, Bear's real famous. Why don't you flip on the channel, and you'll see him, his rescue being held. So I flipped on the channel, and lo and behold, it was Bruno being rescued. I was like...
So you all of a sudden, and you're watching too at the same time?
Yeah.
You're watching this, looking for your other dog, and thinking that this dog drowned, and you're all of a sudden breaking news, watching your other dog get rescued.
Yeah.
How about that? That must have been amazing, huh? These dogs, they're hams, these dogs, trying to get on TV. Both of them had to do separately so that they'd have equal time.
Exactly.
But the other one just got out on his own. He climbed out up a ladder, right?
No, actually, a firefighter went down to...
Oh, got him.
Yeah, got
but
him.
It wasn't
was
as dramatic. He didn't fly like Bruno. Bruno got a little helicopter ride.
Yeah, he did.
All right, well, you're happy to have your dogs back, I'm sure.
Yes.
Very. And everybody's going to put double locks on those gates?
Definitely.
All right, yeah, I noticed your husband's not here. He left it open.
He's in trouble.
All right. No, I'm sure he feels really bad about that. All right, so what we want to do for everybody, to thank you, we're adopting, I know we can't give gifts to fire stations, but we're adopting Fire Station 114, and the entire fire department with guests will go to Morton Steakhouse for dinner, and you're all going to get a 42-inch plasma TV from crazygazer.com, so you can watch your rescues on a plasma TV in your... We're going to meet the famous dogs for one more thing right after this. We'll be right back. Oh, and one more thing. I'd like you to meet Bruno. This is Bruno right here, and this is Bear. And we've gotten them this huge basket of all the pet products that they're ever going to need from Cloudstar. Look at all that stuff. They have some biscuits that I'm giving them right now, which they seem to like, and Bruno can't get enough of them, actually. And then just in case they get in trouble again, we've gotten them their own little life preservers that they can get in, and they're actually dog life preservers that you should just keep them full time, no matter if it's raining or not, just keep them on these dogs. So, and you can see there's bandages on Bruno here and on Bear's back leg. What do they think is going on with these two?
They think he might have broken a toe.
Broken a toe, and then Bear?
His nails were all the way shaved down so far back.
From trying to get out of the
Yeah,
cement?
he was bleeding.
And they've been sleeping ever since they came home, or they're pretty mellow right now?
Yeah, pretty much. This is how they've been since they've come home.
And you said they're more needy. They seem to not want to leave your side.
Yeah, they are very.
Wow.
very
And
much
Labs are water dogs, but I don't think he's going to like water after this. He's not going to want to go anywhere near it.
I don't think so.
That is a sweet, sweet dog. And Bear seems very... And they're both rescue?
Bear's a rescue, and we brought Bruno from a private owner.
No.
We bought him from a private
That's
owner.
great.
Yeah.
They're sweet dogs. All right, I'm just going to give you one more. I don't want to be held accountable if they have tummy aches, but I think they deserve it after this. All right, Marie, what do you do for a living?
I'm actually a safety coordinator for a heavy industrial construction company.
All right, and so you're driving, where are you going at this, what time was it about?
It was around 5 p.m. in the afternoon. I was actually getting off work, heading home to go pick up my oldest son from his childcare.
All right.
I was driving down the interstate.
Uh-huh.
And while I was driving, I had noticed that there were some vehicles in front of me slamming on the brakes and weaving over, and you know, I just figured, didn't know exactly what was going on until I was able to get closer to what.
So what do you see?
Well, when I approach closer to the other vehicles, out of the corner of my eye, I see a gray van actually grinding in the HOV lane against the concrete barrier that divides the north and southbound.
Just riding along that thing?
Just riding along.
So what are you thinking is happening?
At first, I didn't know exactly what was going on, so
you pulled alongside?
I pulled alongside his van.
What do you see?
Well, I see a gentleman slumped over at the wheel.
Slumped over the wheel? Mm-hmm. So, and he's the only person in the car?
He is the only person in the vehicle.
So what do you do?
At that time, I knew that something was wrong because I figured he wasn't asleep because his vehicle was making too much noise, grinding, and it was actually smoking and starting to spark at that time.
Right.
So I actually began to pull in front of him while his van is going down. So I pull up ahead of him in the HOV lane, and I actually positioned my car kind of at an angle because I knew that at that time his vehicle had to be stopped. Once I positioned my vehicle, since I was up far enough, I figured maybe I would have enough time to get out of my vehicle and run back to his van.
What do you wear? You wearing running, like running?
I'm in my high heels.
High
I
heels.
just got off work.
All right.
Just got off work.
So you position your car to stop this car that's coming straight at you like this, and then run back in high heels to that car.
To his car.
And then you're running along the side, doing what?
Running back to his van, hoping that maybe the doors were unlocked. I thought maybe I could get into the vehicle, push the brakes, get the ignition turned off. At that time, I noticed that the doors were locked, wasn't going to be able to get open. So I actually start hauling back to my
to your car.
Back to my car, because I forgot I actually left my emergency brake off. So I was actually at the time trying to get in.
Oh, you're a fast runner, back and forth to your car.
Surprisingly.
All right.
But, once I got closer to the vehicle, I noticed I wasn't going to get in to pull the emergency brake.
So then you go back and you pull out your son's skate, thinking you can break the window.
Yes, and this is actually after his van hit the back of my car.
Hit your car, so it's now stopped.
It is now stopped.
So you get this, and you're trying to break a window.
I'm trying to break open the window.
And it breaks your son's skate.
It didn't work.
No.
No.
He's probably mad at you right now, your son.
Well, he doesn't quite know that his skate is broken.
Yeah,
so
she broke your skate.
Yeah, he's gonna be mad now.
Right. So by then some other guys had stopped and helped and got a crowbar or something, right?
Actually, once the skate didn't work, there was a female who did stop. The standard tire jacks that come with your vehicle, she was actually able to get that from her vehicle and break open the window.
And so what had happened to this man?
Actually, later on, I found out he did have a heart attack while he was driving home.
Had a heart attack, and he's 60-something years old.
He's 65,
And you've taught, he's okay, he's in critical condition, but he's alive.
He's alive. He's starting that recovery.
And they have no children, so he and his wife are everything to each other.
Yes.
And she must be so grateful to you to get to him in time to do that. So we want to thank you. And TravelWizard.com wants to thank you. They are your #1 source for luxury travel, by the way. They're sending you and a guest on a 5-night vacation to Breeze's Runaway Bay Resort in Jamaica's, and it's worth $5,000. So you'll have fun in Jamaica, and thank you for doing that. Our next guest is a hero. She made national headlines when she risked her life to save a 5-year-old boy trapped in a fire and suffered severe burns to her arms and feet in the process. Please welcome Allison, 5-year-old Aiden, and his dad, JB. What a story this is. Okay, and first of all, I can't believe you're walking, and it's only been 2 weeks, and it's, I can't imagine what that feels like to walk. So thank you for being here. So you're asleep. What time is this about?
6 o'clock in the morning. It's
6
like still early, but it was
Okay.
still dark outside.
Okay. So you're asleep, and you're downstairs. Aiden's upstairs. Is that right?
In his bedroom.
What made you wake up?
Just this loud, substantial thing just like hit the floor, made a really loud noise.
So the fire was going that strongly that something had already... You waving yourself, Aiden? So something woke you up, something fell, and what stage was the fire in when you opened your eyes?
It was bad.
Wow. So you were sleeping through, that's crazy, you can sleep through an intense fire like that.
I know, right?
So you see, do you see the stairway, or?
I ran up the stairs, and then once I heard the noise, and I just looked, and the fire was just
coming at you.
It was right there at the bathroom door.
And Aiden's bedroom was right next to the bathroom?
Across from the bathroom.
Okay. So you're screaming for Aiden?
I screamed for Aiden, and then he just answered back and said he was in his bedroom underneath his covers. And
you must have been scared, Aiden. You weren't scared? Did you see the fire?
He was.
You saw the fire? And so, Allison, so you're at the top of the stairs, and you have to go through flames to get to him?
It was all subconsciously thinking, you know. I wasn't logically thinking anything.
I just
went in there.
ran through the fire.
Yeah.
So, well, this is the nanny you want, right? This is, I mean, so you run through, then do you know at the time, can you feel yourself getting burned when you're running through it?
No.
All right, so you grab Aiden.
He jumps on me.
And then you have to carry him back through those same flames.
And the flames are just the whole wall. It's just, and I'm walking as close as I can to the other wall. And it went by so fast, and it was so scary, and there was so much smoke that I inhaled. I just got my voice back like 2 days ago.
I bet. So you're carrying him, and the smoke, I mean, you could have just collapsed there. It really is a miracle that you both made it out. You must be, JB, how did you hear about this?
Oh, I got the phone call in the morning, and pretty scary. I flew back as soon as possible. I knew my son was okay. I'd heard that everything was okay. And so when I got in the airport, I went straight to the hospital to see Allie.
And you're completely fine. No scratches, no burns, no nothing. And your feet, what is it? What degree burn?
It was third-degree burns.
Third-degree burns.
Yeah, my skin was just hanging off my feet.
Off your feet, and then in your hands, I think. Look, you can see this hand right here.
This hand's healing very
well. From what,
hitting
touching a wall or something?
No, I can't even remember how this hand caught fire. And this hand was burnt too. There was blisters, and my knuckles were all burnt, but it's already healed.
She didn't hesitate. She didn't hesitate at all.
What do you have to say?
What can you say to a person who saves your world? You know, my son is my life.
Yeah, what can you say?
I can never repair.
Well,
Aiden wanted to give her this, though.
Oh, best hero.
Best hero. That's sweet.
Oh,
that's very sweet. Now, we know that you don't, look how you made your cane all fancy, too, to match your outfit.
I didn't want it to look so old.
That's great. So you wrap that around. I know you don't have medical insurance, and this is probably pricey. And you can't work right now because you can hardly walk. I can't believe you're here. Thank you again.
Thank you for
well,
letting
we
me on the show.
we have a gift for you. We teamed up. This is such an amazing website, tonic.com. They are dedicated to people who are making a positive difference all over the world, and they are giving you $20,000 towards your recovery. All right, that'll help. And also, the Marriott Resort is sending you and your family, when you're better, on a 5-night trip to Palm Beach in Aruba. So when you're better, you're going to go enjoy some relaxation. Our next guest proved that perfect strangers can come together to save a life. Take a look at this.
It was just a normal day. I was up hiking with my husband Scott on Mount Beardstadt, and I came over a rock and saw a dog staring at me in this pretty rough, rocky terrain.
I didn't believe her at first because it just, you know, this terrain is really rough and no place for a dog. We gave her food, we gave her water, we even tried to carry her. I tried putting her over my shoulders, but it was just too dangerous for us.
One of the first things we did when we got home was we actually posted on a hiker's website pleading for help.
When I heard about her, it was a heart-wrenching sensation.
I immediately had that gut reaction that told me I needed to do something.
I mean, it really tugged at me, and I thought a life is a life. I wanted to go up and help. I knew I had the ability to act.
Luckily, by Monday, we had 8 complete strangers ready to go save this dog.
This is the Sawtooth Ridge here, and down from the main gendarme is where we found her, in this sea of rocks.
The terrain that the dog was located in is very steep terrain. It's essentially a large boulder field that has steep drop-offs of anywhere from a few hundred feet to 1,000+ feet.
I didn't really think about any personal risk to myself. We just wanted to get her off the mountain safely.
I was the first one to find her, and when I saw her, it was just that everything was right in the world. It was fantastic.
It was a huge relief when we saw she was okay when we first got to her. She wasn't moving a lot, but the fact that she was alive, you know, was a huge accomplishment.
When we finally got her off the mountain and I had her in the back of my car, and I teared up a little bit just knowing that we had saved her and we were going to get her down.
If the rescue wouldn't have gone as well as it did and she wasn't okay, I would have been devastated.
So, I mean, I was really moved by 8 strangers who didn't know each other and coming together, you know, over an animal they had never met.
Brighter than the sun.
Please welcome the 8 people who saved this dog. Come on out. Oh man, I could do the entire show with y'all, or many, many shows, because I love what you did for this dog, and I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. When I heard this story, it just touched me so much. So Amanda and Scott, right? Mm-hmm. So you were the 2 who saw that, and the dog was 14,000 feet above. Is that how high it was?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we found her at about 13,500 feet. So you saw the terrain. I mean, it's up there. It's pretty rough.
And how long had the dog been up there?
She was up there for 8 days.
8 days.
Yeah.
And it's freezing at night, right?
Mm-hmm. It gets pretty cold.
Yeah.
It's just a miracle the dog was still alive. And why was the dog up there?
Well, I mean, the thing is, she really shouldn't have been up there in the first place, but this guy decided to go hiking with the dog, and he had someone else with him, and you know, the dog just got into a spot where she got really injured and couldn't go any further, and so they had to leave her there. And they never went back for her.
8 days?
For 8 days.
Well, sometimes that happens, I guess. Wow, I don't even know what to say about that. All right, so, and who's Brandon? Where's Brandon? Brandon, okay, so did you go up the night before by yourself?
Yeah, on Saturday night, once I saw Scott and Amanda's post, I immediately had that reaction that said, it's time to do something now. The night hike was kind of dangerous, but not going would have been crazy itself.
And who carried the dog down?
Well, actually, there were 8 of us up there that day, and we all took turns. This guy right here, though, he carried her most of the way all by himself.
You put
and it
her
was
in
impressive.
a backpack on your back?
Yeah.
Wow. That's hard to balance a backpack, period, much less a dog. So you gave her water and food and stuff just to stabilize her a little bit, and her paws had been messed up because the rocks were so sharp, and she probably tried to get down, but was stuck up there, right?
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah, they were torn up, and so we had to bandage them up a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I really can't believe that you posted something and all of you, not knowing each other at all, got together to go up there and bring this dog down, because that dog would never have made it without all of you. And you renamed the dog Lucky, and that's a great name. It's an appropriate name. We have to take a break, and we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about this. And just thank you. We're back with my favorite kind of people. They rescued a dog from a mountain that had been up on the mountain for 8 days. And I just love people like that. I just love that you would take time out of your lives and do something that's risky and dangerous and go search for an animal that needs help, because that's what everyone should do, but not everybody does. And John and Stefan, right? So you have seen, because the dog is still in a shelter right now. She was recovering, and she was healing from all of her wounds, but now she's better, right?
She's alive again, basically. She came alive.
Her personality is back?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, she's back to full expression of her personality.
Uh-huh. And so she's still in the shelter, and I understand, John, you're trying to adopt her, right?
Yes.
That's your
I would
wish.
love to.
Okay, good.
And you should have her, too.
Well, I obviously think she should be anywhere but a shelter. She's been on a mountaintop, and she needs to be in a home instead of a shelter. I'm sure they're taking good care of her, but a home is obviously a preference. And so state your case. Why should you adopt Lucky?
I've been an animal lover my whole life, and I have 2 rescued German Shepherds, and I just think she'd fit in really, really well.
Yeah. Well, I bet she'd be very happy with your other German Shepherd. So I hope you do get to rescue Lucky and give her a good home.
And I have to say, too, we're all familiar with your work with animals, and it's an honor really to be here. So
No,
thank you.
Thank you. It's my honor to be able to help in any way I can. It's just, the least I can do. All right, so you're trying to start a rescue organization, because I know a lot of people focus on rescuing human beings, but there's not a lot of effort in rescuing animals, right?
Yeah. I think we really realized the need, from this whole thing for a formal rescue organization.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that, we
And you're all going to do this together?
John and Stefan are spearheading the effort on that, so I think we'll pitch in time, but they're really leading the charge on it.
Well, you've all formed a bond. Obviously, you're going to keep in touch, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll go have, holidays and spend, time with John and Lucky at the house and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
John will feed everyone. And oh, really? Well, then another reason. All right, so I know you all hike, so I got you the next time you're up hiking, we got you Ellen-ized canteens. And we got, you can follow me on Twitter. If you're lost, you can just, all right? All right.
That's awesome.
And also, my friends at Columbia Sportswear, the makers of all kinds of innovative outdoor gear, heard about your story, and they want to give each of you a $2,500 gift card so that you can hike-wise. Writers is in with Keon in there. I don't know how she ended up in that tent, but
She's going with it.
all right. We'll be right back with Kelly Kipler.